There's a door standing before you, Libra. Golden, quiet, almost sacred. It glows softly like it knows your name. Its beauty calls to the parts of you that ache for completion. The tired heart, the hopeful dreamer, the soul that just wants something finally right. It promises comfort. It whispers, "Come closer." But beneath its shine, something shifts, a vibration only your spirit can feel. A subtle warning hums in the air. And if you listen carefully, the universe is saying, don't open it, no matter how beautiful it looks, because not every light is divine. Some are reflections bouncing off broken mirrors, illusions dressed as destiny. And right now, you stand at the edge of a choice that could either bless you or break your peace completely. This isn't about fear. It's about discernment. The same way thunder warns before lightning strikes, your soul is warning you before a storm of chaos disguised as love, success, or opportunity. Something, or someone, looks inviting. It looks like the answer to your waiting. But Libra, the universe has seen what's behind that door. And it's not what you think. Before we walk deeper into this revelation, seal your energy in faith. Comment below, "I will wait for the door that brings peace," because sometimes your protection comes disguised as a delay. And by the time this message ends, you'll understand why the universe needed you to pause right here, before the wrong door closes you in. So stay with me, Libra. Let's look beyond the glow. Let's uncover the truth that beauty hides. Because your intuition isn't wrong. It's sacred. It always begins beautifully, doesn't it, Libra? The offer glitters. The person speaks softly. The moment feels like a long-awaited answer. Everything in you wants to believe that this is finally the thing that will make sense of all the waiting. But the universe is whispering a quiet truth. Not every blessing wears a halo. Some come wrapped in flattery, in urgency, in words that sound like music but carry no melody of peace. They touch your pride, not your purpose. They make you feel chosen, not cherished. And before you know it, you're standing in front of a doorway that promises the world, yet hides a storm. This is the trap that wears a smile. It appears gentle, patient, even safe. But its roots are twisted with manipulation, imbalance, and hidden motives. It feeds off your kindness, off that part of you that wants to help, to heal, to fix. You think you're walking toward connection, but in truth, you're walking into a web that drains the very light you were meant to protect. You see, Libra, chaos rarely knocks loudly. It arrives in charm. It complements your strength while quietly testing your boundaries. It mirrors your dreams so you'll feel understood. It offers quick promises so you'll stop listening to your intuition. The universe is showing you this pattern because you've danced with it before. The magnetic pull of something that seems right but moves too fast, asks too much, or feels just a little off. And still, your heart, so soft and open, wants to give it one more chance. But this time, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, does this door lead to peace, or does it simply promise relief? Because there's a difference between peace and escape. Peace grounds you, escape distracts you. Peace nourishes your spirit. Escape numbs your wounds. When something truly belongs to you, it doesn't rush, it doesn't confuse, and it never demands you to shrink to fit inside it. The right path flows, the wrong one pulls. And if you feel that pull tightening around your chest, that subtle anxiety hidden under the beauty, that is your sign. Libra, you were never meant to be impressed by surface glow. You were meant to sense energy, to feel vibration, to recognize when something sounds divine but carries no light. So when a new opportunity, person, or path begins to feel like a performance, step back. Because real blessings don't sell themselves. They reveal themselves over time. This is the universe teaching you discernment. That even a smile can be a mask and even a promise can be poison. But your peace, your balance, is the shield. Protect it fiercely. Because once chaos slips through that beautiful door, it won't just rearrange your days, it will rewrite your soul's rhythm. So Libra, when charm comes knocking, let wisdom answer first. It begins softly, Libra, not as a storm, but as a whisper. A voice that sounds familiar, almost comforting. It calls to you in moments of stillness, when your heart feels the most vulnerable. It says, "You've waited long enough. You deserve this." Why keep holding back? And that whisper, it knows exactly which strings to pull. It knows the ache of your loneliness, the weight of your patience, and that quiet wish you never said out loud to finally feel seen, chosen, and understood. But this, dear Libra, is the oldest test of the soul. Not to recognize temptation by its ugliness, but to recognize it even when it wears your favorite perfume. The universe, in its mysterious mercy, often allows what once broke you to return, not as punishment, but as proof of your growth. It arrives polished, speaking your language, promising, this time will be different. But if you look closer, the pattern is the same. It still requires you to abandon your peace. It still costs you your balance. And no true blessing will ever demand the sacrifice of your inner harmony. Temptation is clever. It doesn't come knocking with horns and fire. It comes smiling. It comes dressed as closure. It comes as that person who once left you in silence, suddenly checking in. It comes as a job that flatters your talent, but drains your soul. It comes as a friend who says all the right words, but carries silent envy in their heart. And it always arrives at the moment you start healing, the moment you begin to rise in your peace. You see, darkness rarely attacks peace directly. It waits until you're calm, it waits until you start trusting life again, and then it whispers, maybe it's time to open that door. But listen closely, Libra. Your spirit already knows the truth. That tightening in your stomach, that flicker of unease in your chest, that's divine intelligence. That is not anxiety. That is not paranoia. That is your soul saying, be still. This path is not pure. When your peace fades at the thought of saying yes, that's your warning. When your dreams begin to feel rushed, that's your signal. When something feels almost right but not fully aligned, that's heaven asking you to pause. The most dangerous doors are the ones that look beautiful but hide repetition, the same pain dressed in new colors. And this time, the universe is asking you not to learn through heartbreak again, but through awareness. You've matured too much to mistake temptation for timing. You've grown too deeply to confuse desire with destiny. So breathe, Libra. Don't silence your intuition for the sake of comfort, because the door that glows the brightest in your loneliness often leads to the darkest hallway of your soul. And your peace, that sacred, quiet peace, is far too precious to trade for another temporary thrill. Now, Libra, let's lift the curtain. Not to step through that shining doorway, but to see what really hides beyond it. At first, it's everything you thought you wanted. Warmth, laughter, closeness, the feeling of being chosen. You walk in and the air feels soft. The space feels safe. Every word sounds right. Every gesture feels familiar. You start to think, maybe this is it. Maybe this is finally my turn to be at peace. But soon, the tone shifts. The laughter begins to sound rehearsed. The warmth turns heavy, like a blanket that starts to suffocate instead of comfort. And the light, that beautiful light that drew you in, begins to flicker. You notice the little cracks first, the promises that fade before they're kept, the gentle words that begin to twist into guilt, the admiration that turns into quiet control. You start to walk on eggshells around someone you once felt safe with. Your own voice becomes quieter, not because you have nothing to say, but because you fear your peace will disturb theirs. That's when it hits you. You didn't misread the signs. You simply wanted the story to end differently this time. You see, Libra, the problem isn't that you trusted, it's that you silenced your intuition for the sake of harmony. You felt the hesitation before you walked through the door, but your heart, so full of hope, convinced you that maybe this time would be different. And yet, behind that beautiful door, the same chaos was waiting, only dressed in softer colors. Behind it lies confusion disguised as chemistry, exhaustion disguised as effort, and regret disguised as growth. It's the kind of energy that keeps you busy, but never fulfilled. You give more, they take more. You speak truth, they twist it, and somehow you're left apologizing for emotions that were never wrong to feel. This is not a new lesson, Libra. This is a final exam. Because you no longer need pain to confirm your strength. You already earned that badge through every sleepless night, every tear that no one saw. This time the universe isn't asking you to survive. It's asking you to choose yourself first. The real victory isn't proving you can heal after chaos. It's learning to recognize chaos before it enters. It's walking away at the first flicker of unease, not the final explosion. You've reached the season where silence speaks louder than promises, and distance protects you better than apologies ever could. The universe is watching to see if you've learned that saying no to what drains you is not loss. It's leadership. Because Libra, love shouldn't cage your spirit. Opportunities shouldn't steal your rest. And peace should never be the price you pay just to feel wanted. So when the next beautiful door appears, pause. Because what's behind it might look like everything you've ever asked for. But your intuition already knows it isn't worth the cost. Now, Libra, close your eyes for a moment and imagine another door. Not the one that sparkled, not the one that called your name with noise and urgency, but the one that stood quietly in the corner, waiting. It doesn't dazzle the eyes. It doesn't promise instant success or grand attention. In fact, at first glance, it might even seem too plain to matter. But when you stand near it, you feel something powerful. Peace. That gentle calm, that unexplainable sense of safety, that is how the divine door feels. It doesn't rush you. It doesn't beg for attention. It simply waits for you to notice it. Because this is not the door built for your ego. It's the one designed for your soul. The real door meant for you will never demand that you betray yourself to walk through it. It won't require you to shrink, to please, or to pretend. It will align with who you are, not who you're trying to impress. That's how you'll know it's real. This door takes time to open, not because it's locked, but because it's sacred. It needs you to be ready, steady, and strong enough to carry what's on the other side. Because what waits there is not a lesson in loss, it's a life of alignment. It's the peace that no storm can steal, and the love that no lie can imitate. Libra, the universe hasn't forgotten you. It's just making sure you don't confuse a temporary thrill for a true beginning. It's shaping the right people, arranging divine timing, and preparing you to recognize what is truly meant to last. Every delay right now is a divine detail, not a denial. It's heaven taking its time, because anything that carries your name must also carry your peace. So if you're feeling left out, if doors around you seem to close while others are walking through theirs, rejoice. Because your door is not ordinary, it's divinely constructed. The wrong one had to collapse first so your true one could be revealed. The universe had to clear the noise, the distractions, the false promises, so your path could finally be pure. And when it opens, it won't just lead you to what you want. It will lead you to who you were always meant to become. You'll look back and thank every delay, every disappointment, every redirection. Because all along, the divine wasn't taking things from you. It was taking you away from what would destroy you. So Libra, stay patient. Don't knock on the wrong door out of loneliness or frustration. The right one doesn't need to be forced. It will unlock itself the moment you align with peace. And when that happens, you'll realize the waiting was never wasted. It was the building of your destiny. Libra, when heaven goes quiet, it's not because you've been forgotten. It's because you're being protected. Silence is not the absence of love. It's the presence of divine order. There are moments when the universe speaks loudest through what doesn't happen, through the calls that never came, the doors that never opened, and the people who quietly drifted away. You see, not every rejection is meant to break you. Some are meant to save you. God sometimes closes a door so quietly that you think you lost your way, when in truth, He just rerouted your destiny. Because He saw what your eyes couldn't, the storm waiting behind that shiny opportunity. That unanswered text, that job that slipped away, that connection that faded before it began, each one was an invisible shield, a divine no spoken with love. Because once chaos touches your peace, it takes months to heal the echoes it leaves behind. You've been through that cycle before. The one where your heart begged for clarity, while your spirit whispered, you knew better. But this time, Libra, you're learning the power of stillness. The lesson of silence is learning to trust the quiet more than the noise. It's realizing that unanswered prayers are not failures, they're filters. The universe isn't taking things from you, it's taking you away from what could destroy your softness, your balance, your divine rhythm. Your peace is being preserved, even if your pride feels bruised. And yes, silence can feel cold, even painful, because the human heart longs for closure, for a reason, for words that make it make sense. But wisdom doesn't always explain itself. Sometimes it just moves you out of harm's way. Libra, remember this. Wisdom isn't proven by what you walk into, it's proven by what you walk away from gracefully. Anyone can start something new, but not everyone has the strength to end something that no longer feels right. So if you've recently turned down something that looked perfect but unsettled your peace, celebrate it. You just passed a spiritual exam that most people fail. That was not weakness, that was strength wrapped in intuition. You didn't lose anything. You avoided something. You protected your peace, and heaven took note. The angels rejoice not only when you rise, but when you refuse to fall the same way twice. This is your graduation from needing noise to confirm your worth. You no longer chase validation, you wait for vibration. And the stillness around you right now? That's not emptiness, that's alignment. It's the divine preparing your next chapter, quietly, perfectly, faithfully. So when life goes silent, Libra, don't panic. Pause, listen. Because what feels like a delay might just be God saying, I love you too much to let you walk into that storm. Libra, there's a kind of strength that doesn't roar. It simply refuses. It doesn't argue, it doesn't explain, it just quietly says no and walks away. That is the strength of obedience. Obedience to your intuition, obedience to your peace, obedience to that still, small voice inside you that whispers when everything around you screams the opposite. Yes, this obedience has a cost. It will cost you company sometimes. It will cost you opportunities that glitter with promise. It will cost you moments of excitement that your ego craves. But Libra, it will also buy you something priceless. Peace that cannot be purchased, and protection you can't always see. You see, the world around you moves fast. Everyone is rushing to open doors, to chase what looks good, to prove that they're winning. But you've been asked to wait. You've been told to pause. And at times, that pause feels unbearable. You ask yourself, why am I still here? Why hasn't it happened for me yet? But what you don't realize, Libra, is that your stillness is sacred. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Because what's being built for you requires stability. And the universe cannot place divine blessings in shaky hands. Obedience means trusting that peace is worth more than praise. It means saying, I choose quiet alignment over loud attention. It means being okay with not being understood, because heaven understands you perfectly. And yes, it gets lonely. It feels empty sometimes. There are nights when the silence feels too heavy, when you look at the phone and wish it would ring, when you stare at opportunities you could take, but something deep inside stops you. That something, Libra, is your spirit protecting your destiny. Obedience asks you to let go, not because you don't deserve what you desire, but because you deserve what will last. It's not about rejection, it's about refinement. The universe isn't withholding joy from you. It's filtering counterfeits out of your story. It's removing the people who would have celebrated your downfall. It's exposing the connections that only wanted your energy, not your essence. And while you wait, you might look around and think others are running ahead of you, getting married, building businesses, achieving what you've been praying for. But what they're building without peace, you're building with purpose. And purpose takes longer, because it's built to last. Libra, the cost of obedience is high, but so is the cost of disobedience. When you silence your intuition and step through doors your spirit warned you about, you spend months, even years, trying to reclaim your peace. You lose your focus, your glow, your trust in yourself. You begin to doubt your discernment, and that's when the cycle repeats. That's why this time the universe is saying, don't do it, no matter the cost. Because peace, once disturbed, demands time to heal. And no thrill, no excitement, no validation is worth trading your balance for. The truth is, obedience will make you look foolish to those who live by impulse. They'll say, "Why didn't you take that chance?" They'll laugh at your patience, misunderstand your quiet, and misjudge your pause. But when your time comes, when your real door opens, they'll realize what divine timing looks like. Because the universe doesn't rush art. And you, Libra, are celestial art in progress. You are not just being prepared for success, you are being sculpted for legacy. The silence, the waiting, the restraint, those are brushstrokes on the canvas of your destiny. They may look random now, but one day, when you step back, you'll see the masterpiece they were forming all along. When you choose obedience, you choose the slow path, but you also choose the safe one. You choose wisdom over impulse. You choose long-term peace over temporary pleasure. You choose to trust that the divine knows what you cannot see. Every no that came from your spirit saved you from something that could have cost you more than you were willing to lose. It's not easy. Obedience rarely is. But remember, what's heavy now is holy later. Libra, the waiting is teaching you self-mastery. It's teaching you to move only when peace gives you permission. It's teaching you that boredom is not always emptiness. Sometimes it's restoration. You're being rewired to crave peace more than excitement. And that transformation, that rewiring, is the greatest spiritual wealth you'll ever gain. Because when you finally walk through the right door, the divine one, you'll enter it with such clarity, such discernment, such strength, that nothing inside will ever shake you again. The waiting will make sense. The silence will make sense. Even the loneliness will make sense. And then you'll understand why the universe kept saying, "Don't do it, no matter the cost." Because the cost of losing your peace, the cost of forcing what isn't aligned, will always be greater than the discomfort of waiting for what's truly yours. So Libra, if you find yourself in this season of stillness, honor it. Don't rush the unfolding. Don't let the noise of others make you doubt the rhythm of your destiny. Your intuition is not holding you back. It's holding you together. Your obedience is not weakness, it's wisdom in motion. And though it may feel like everything has stopped, something beautiful is still being written behind the scenes. You are becoming unshakable. You are becoming peaceful beyond reason. You are becoming the version of yourself that no chaos can touch. Stay obedient, stay patient, stay aligned. Because one day soon, you'll look back and whisper, "Now I understand why that door never opened. It was never my doorway to peace." And in that moment, every lonely night, every delayed answer, and every unanswered prayer will suddenly feel like the most divine yes you've ever received. So now, dear Libra, when you find yourself standing before that beautiful door that glows with everything you've ever dreamed of, pause. Don't rush. Don't reach for the handle. Step back and breathe. Because your soul already knows what your eyes can't yet see. It knows the difference between divine timing and danger wrapped in beauty. And that quiet heaviness in your chest, that's not fear. That's your spirit whispering, "This one is not for you." Remember this, Libra, the right door will never make you doubt yourself. It will never make you question your worth. The right door will not confuse your spirit. It will calm it. The right person will never demand you to heal faster. They will honor your rhythm. The right opportunity will never pull you away from your peace. It will nurture it. You are not being rejected. You are being redirected. You are not missing out. You are being set apart. The delay is not punishment. It's divine rearrangement. So if you've recently watched a door close in front of you, don't grieve the ending. Thank heaven for the redirection. Because behind that closed door was chaos you were never meant to touch, and ahead of you lies peace you were always meant to hold. If this message spoke to your heart, comment below. Peace over pressure. Let the universe see your declaration. And before you go, remember to subscribe, because your next chapter, the one filled with divine clarity, alignment, and restoration, is closer than you think. Stay grounded, Libra. Stay balanced. Stay in the light. Because the most beautiful doors are not the ones that shine under man-made light, but the ones that heaven opens in silence. Just for you.